Hi crafters, are you looking for a fun fold that's quick and easy but that yet makes a statement? You've come to the right place. Hi, this is Creative Moments by G. It is Technique Tuesday and I'm G. So let's head down to the crafting table. Let me show you what we're going to do today. Okay, the card we are going to make is a pop-out card. Now look at this. Look at how pretty that is. Now, as we make our card, we're going to make 2 cards today. I want you to think about the possibilities. When we cut our opening right here, if we use a circle, think about using a square, possibly a rectangle. You could even use a star if you have a die that'll cut out a star. How creative would that be? So let's get busy and make a card. Now stay with us because I'm going to show you and discuss 2 cards at the end of this video. So the first thing you're going to need to do is cut a base card. And our base cards are 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and make the inside mechanism. And our mechanism on the inside is 5 by 7.5. And we need to go ahead and make a couple score lines. Our first score line is going to be at 3 3/4. And then we're going to score at 5 3/8. So we move on over to 5.5 and we go 1/8 past 5.5. And that gives us our 5/8. Now we're just going to take that out and we are going to put our larger part of this mechanism up at the top. We're going to fold up and we're going to use our bone folder to give it a good crease. And now we're just going to fold back and give that a good crease. And now we have our inside mechanism. We're just going to put this to the side right now. So let's go ahead and decorate the front of our card. Now we've decided to use these adorable cherries. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And that comes from this beautiful patterned paper pack that is called Sunny Days. Love this pack. We're also going to be using sweetest cherries. Look at these beautiful cherries that we have. And we also, to match it, we have a punch. I'm going to show you a tip on how to use this punch. So we want to go ahead and have a mat first on our base card. So let's cut a first mat. And we know that a first mat is 5 1/4 by 4. If you want that size mat, we typically use 5 1/4 by 4 for our first mat. Now let's go ahead and cut our cherries. And because this is directional, you really want to pay attention of what your next cut is. And so our next cut is going to be 3 3/4 across the top. And then we're going to cut it at 5. So let's lay that down and see what it looks like. So we have our first mat and we have our second mat. Look at how cute that looks. Let's go ahead and adhere this to the front of our base card. Now you need to decide, as I mentioned earlier, how large and what image do you want to use to cut out your hole. I'm going to go ahead and use this. I'm using the deckled dies, and look at that. They're kind of curvy at the end. And this set comes with a lot of these dies so that you can do a lot of framing. Look at all the dies that you get. Oh my goodness, you get so many of these. So I went ahead and I cut out a frame. I got that taped together just perfectly so that there's the same amount on all sides. Now I can take this apart because I need to go ahead and cut out my circle right here on the front of my card. Now I want to make sure that I have the same distance on both sides and top to bottom. So I think that's about right. Now I'm going to open this up and I'm going to run this through the embossing machine. Now we're just going to pop this out. We're going to save this circle that we pop out. We can add this to another card. Look how cute that is. Okay, we're just going to very carefully take this off. And another tip, I say carefully because even though this is removable tape, when you run it through an embossing machine, sometimes if you take it off very quickly, you can tear your paper and you don't want to do that. So just be very careful. And now look at that. We have our opening cut out. We have our mechanism ready to go. It's going to go just like this. Now, if you wanted to, you could mat it again, but I don't think we need to do that. So we're going to just go ahead and adhere this to the inside of our card. Just center it. And I'm going to take just some scrap paper that I have, and I'm going to start stamping our beautiful cherries that we have. So we are going to use garden green, real red, and pecan pie for our cherries. So let's go ahead and stamp some of the cherries. Now, remember I said I was going to show you a tip. We cut out a template so that we would know how to stamp our cherries so that when we put it in our punch, it punches out perfectly so we don't waste a lot of paper. So we're going to just go ahead and lay this right here, and I'm going to show you how to stamp it and then punch it. So let's bring in our real red. Just going to stamp right in our template. And now I'm going to get our garden green. We're going to stamp our leaves, staying inside the template. And now we're going to get our brown, our pecan pie for our stem. Okay. Now we can remove our template and we can bring in our punch. Just going to line this up and punch. And look at that. We didn't have any waste, and we have our cherry and we have our leaves cut out. Now, I went ahead and I punched another circle because we are going to add this circle right here, right on top. Now, one of the things I want to do is I'm bringing out the little weave basket that they have. Just going to bring some stamping paper so I don't get it on my work table. And I'm going to use the pecan pie again. We're just going to stamp across. And now I think right here, I want to put cherries peeking out right here. So I'm just going to mat it. Just put it right there. Just kind of poke out a few. I'm going to keep that on because I'm going to put just a few stems. Okay, so we have some cherries peeking out of their basket, and we are going to stamp right here. And we're going to use our Night of Navy. And we're stamping over to the right because we're going to bring in our cherries on the left-hand side. So let's go ahead and put this together. What we need to do is close our card, and we know that we're going to have our glue on the right-hand side because you don't want to glue it shut, so be very mindful of that. We are going to put it just like this. So I'm just going to add some glue right over here. Just line it up. Make sure that you hold that down and look at that. So we're getting there, but we're not finished yet, right? We still have to add some cherries and we have to add our frame. The frame just makes it pop. Look at this. Look at how pretty that is. So let's go ahead and add our frame. And now we're going to bring in some cherries. I'm going to get it as close as we can to the words. And this one, making sure that it doesn't go over, is going to be set up on some dimensionals. And now we can open it up. We can set maybe another cherry right here with some leaves on it. Just set it down in the card. Okay. And now we have completed our first fun fold. Look at how cute that is. So cute. You are all kinds of wonderful. You open it up. You have another little surprise in here. You have lots of room to write. So here is our first card. Our next card is going to use these beautiful daisies right here, and then we're going to use a sentiment from Filled with Happiness. And look at the dies we're going to use here. Now these are a little more difficult to use because you do have to line them up, but that's okay. We are going to be able to do that. So we went ahead and we cut our base card, the 8.5 by 5.5, scored it at 4 1/4. We have this bright yellow as a mat, and then we have this beautiful patterned paper. Look at that. So let's go ahead and get this laid down. And this is just your first mat that we talked about. Now we need to use the smaller size of this beautiful design, and we're going to line it up so that we have these points at the top and the bottom and the side, and that will help you and guide you as you're trying to get this lined up perfectly. So let's get that straight. And I'm also going to use the grid paper. So if you have grid paper or a grid mat, make sure that you utilize that. So I think we have the same distance from top to bottom, side to side. So I'm going to just get this cut out using our embossing machine. We're just going to pop this out. and certainly use this in another card, right? Now we went ahead and we used the die set to cut out this beautiful frame. So we can go ahead and just lay this down right on top, just like that. And look at those colors, really makes it pop. Okay, and look at that. So pretty. You need to cut your inside mechanism. And we know that that's 5 by 7.5. So we're going to extend our arm. We're going to cut it at 7.5. Let's cut it this way. I'm going to cut it at 5. And now we're going to score it at 3 3/4. And we know that 5 5/8 is 5.5 plus 1/8. So we're going to put the large part of this mechanism to the top and fold up. Use our bone folder to go ahead and give it a good crease and fold back. And now we have it ready to go right on the inside of the card. So we're just going to get this adhered to the inside. We cut out our white image so that we could line it up here. But what we need to make sure and do is we need to make sure that we get our message stamped in exactly the right place. So let's go ahead and stamp it right here in the middle. And I'm going to stamp it close to that mark. So I'm going to line this up straight right on my grid mat. I'm going to bring in my Night of Navy. Just going to stamp that because I'm going to build my flowers around it. Look at how pretty that looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and just adhere this to the front of my card. So you can do it one of two ways. You could put your glue here, or you can put a little bit of glue here. Just line it up. So I'm going to open up the card and just press down. Now I have stamped and cut out these beautiful daisies. And something else I did to make them pop is I added Wink of Stella. Can you see that glitter? So pretty. Now I am going to put my beautiful daisies up here, just like that. Look at how it makes it pop. I'm going to set them up on one dimensional right in the center, because I want to add some leaves behind them. And I cut out the leaves that go with this stamp set. Just going to put a little bit of glue right here. Over on this side, lift it up. And oh, look at that. Now I went ahead and I used one of the other dies from this set. Look how cute that is. I'm going to just set this right here and then add some leaves down here just to tie it all in together. And I'm going to cut my leaves apart. just so that I can add them right to the side. And now we have completed our second card. Look at how we decorated the front of this. You can just go crazy with your decorations, but you can see how easy it is to create this pop-up card. Very simple on the inside because you have plenty of room to write. However, you can doll it up a little bit. If you want to stamp some additional images on the inside, you could do that as well. But we're going to keep the inside just simple. So take a moment and leave a comment. Which is your favorite? Do you like the cherries or do you like these daisies? Let us know in the comments. Maudie and I would love to know. Now I think I'll add maybe just a little bit of bling right here. While you are leaving a comment, I'm just going to add a little bit of bling on the hello. Just bring in some more blue. Now I want to show you those other cards again. Look at this beautiful hummingbird. We didn't really discuss it. You can see those beautiful gems right here that we added. We added our beautiful hummingbird up on some dimensionals. And look at that. Plenty of room to write, but just really decorated the outside. And of course added our frame. I think the frame really makes it pop. And finally, we created a critter card. Look at this. We just dolled this up with some pattern paper, put one of the cutout trees, added our little toucan, our little alligator with some leaves on it. And you open it up. Hope your birthday is wonderful. Make a wish. Let us know now. Take a moment, leave a comment. Which is your favorite? Well, Maudie and I just appreciate your time so much today with Technique Tuesday. We hope you like this technique. This pop-out card is so easy. And remember, there's so many possibilities in terms of what are you going to use for your whole? Will it be a circle, a rectangle, a square, a star, maybe even a flower? We hope that you were inspired by this video and take a moment and give us a thumbs up and share with your friends. Well, Maudie and I want to wish you a fantastic day and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.